Hello and welcome to the Goiania circuit in Brazil. Today's race is going to be a 20-minute race on the 11th of May 2024, starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Real time, real weather, a rolling start, just because I think it gives us a more equal start compared to a standing start with the minis. We've got refueling allowed, but we're not going to need it. No mandatory pit stop and a default progressing circuit. We'll have a full grid of JCW minis on 114 skill level, which is my calibrated strength for this class. 1.00 wet skill scaler, medium aggression, standard mistakes, and we'll be starting from the middle of the pack. So, without further ado, let's get trackside and let's go racing. Ouch. Bit of both of us up. A bit of a fraught first lap, but good enough. No damage in terms of points. Already stringing out, isn't it? This track always gives a brilliant race. And it's not just me that thinks this. There was someone left a comment on one of my videos the other day saying the same thing. A bit too quick in. Such a difficult corner to get right. The AI gets it right 99.9% of the time. So difficult for the player to achieve the same. Need to be mindful of the left front tyre as well. If we can hang on to his... no, not quite. quite hoping to get a better exit. You got it that time, no? Woods is vulnerable now, but we're not quite close enough. But we're letting the others get away, so we need to be careful here. Too much. Got over that quite quickly. That's good. A bit better. Oh, come on, dude. They're so fast in, and they can hold that line. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Well, we're nicely positioned again, aren't we? Got some work to do here, haven't we? Look how quick they are in the entries to that corner. And then they hold that entry speed all the way to the exit as well. All their time they gain on us is there. And all the time we gain on them is in that little chicane. Stop. Just got a slight edge, haven't they, pace-wise, just. That's a nice lap there. It's 28.560, that's a good lap there. Left front starting to struggle now. I'm not surprised. Had to push it a bit harder than I'd like. See the right rear corner there. Just on the brakes. Come on, sort yourself out, Andrew. Stop talking. Get on with it. Gone from a good lap to a really scrappy lap. It's half a second down this lap. Yeah, if I'd have got that lap right, we probably could have had Alice by now. We're looking at the back of Dixon's car instead. bit too far back here, aren't we? Nice exit. Oh, Dixon's all over the place. Oh, Ellis managed to stay behind us. Fantastic. Right, let's close that off. I was expecting to come out of there behind Ellis. Ellis has dropped right back. Yeah, these guys seem better on the brakes. As you get closer to the front of the field, as you'd expect, they're getting a little bit faster in their pace, and they're a bit better on the brakes into that chicane. Beauty. Come on, Bell. I want your toe. Thank you. I'm going to defend this from Dixon. I'm not going for a move on Bell. Oh. Screw that. Ah, Dixon ran wide anyway. Right, that was fortunate. I wasn't expecting Bell to defend that. Having to wind on more lock, getting more and more understeer. That left front's really starting to get punished. We might have a move here. Whilst they're fighting like that, that's given us a really good opportunity to close the gap. Wide. A bit wide and a bit tight. Averaged out to be perfect. Come on. No, they're racing pretty hard. We might get a sniff of a fourth, maybe a podium. Come on. Sorry. Everybody goes to the inside line there. No takers. Come on. Balls. We just spent a bit too much of our front tyres to get here. Well, that was a good race. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. That was good fun. We got a 5th place. That's not bad from, was it 13th on the grid? We'll take that. Especially when the AI is as close as that as well. Really good. Right, let's have a look at the results, shall we? So Bailey got it from my brother, who's the only car. So Daniel's car is under control of custom AI. It's the only car in the grid that is. So the reason that's the case is because we use, so both his livery and my livery are under one of the cars that would normally be at the back of the field, to try and get extra cars at the front of the field, basically. So Daniel's car is the only one that's under control of custom AI. Then it was Collins in 3rd, Porter, then myself. And yeah, I just spent a bit too much of the front tyres to get there. But right, we'll get into that though in just a minute. So we'll see you in a second with the summary. Well, thank you very much, Goiania. You provided me a really nice race yet again. It's very rare I come here and have a bad race. In the past, I used to have to bring the AI strength back just a little bit because it was just a little bit on the strong side compared to other circuits. But now it looks like it's had a little bit of work done, and it looks like it's a bit more balanced now. So 114 AI, which is my calibrated strength according to Interlagos GP and the Barcelona no chicane layouts. So that's carried over into here. I've got a slight edge on them, but to get that edge I have to spend my front tyres. So I think on balance it's pretty much overall correct for the lap. There's a couple of places where it's not quite balanced right, which is in the first corner the AI is able to carry more speed into the corner, but then they don't sacrifice anything for the exit, so they can maintain that higher pace. And then it evens out as you get towards the exit, but they don't lose anything on the exit. So it's a net gain for the AI in the first corner. And then we then get all of that back in the braking for the chicane about 2/3 of the way into the lap. And that's pretty much about it. It's other than that, it's pretty much spot on. Wherever you might feel like you're gaining somewhere else, you're probably then giving it back on the exit of the same corner. So that's just a racing decision. So here, for example, it feels like you might have a bit of an advantage, but actually I don't think you have. I think you just sort of, you lose a bit, you gain a bit, or you gain a bit, you lose a bit. But definitely coming up into the chicane where the footage is coming up to now, the player has definitely got an advantage in the braking zone into here, which gives you back everything you've lost in the first corner. But yeah, other than that though, it's absolutely brilliant. Fantastic racing, and the nice thing as well, I mean, with the imbalance, it gives you an opportunity to overtake. Now personally I would prefer to have to work a bit harder for that opportunity. I would prefer it to be balanced through the first corner and into that chicane as well, so that I didn't have that knowledge in my head that, oh yeah, I've got my spot coming up. You know, I would rather have to really work for it, try and sort of position them in a situation where they're then going to suffer on the exit, or vice versa. Because for me, that's what this sort of class of racing is all about. Everyone is pretty much sort of level pegging, and then it's down to what you do, which makes the difference. But yeah, I mean, the car was great, handled brilliantly. I've had the same setup on it since, well, for ages now, and it doesn't matter where I go. I'll plug it in, and it's on, and it's good. The tyre wear was a little bit higher on the front than I'd like, but I did have to push it really hard to get towards the front of the pack. If it would have been an endurance race, I'd have certainly qualified, and I'd have been in the top sort of 3 or 4, I would have thought. And then I'd have been able to manage that pace a lot more, and would have been able to maintain a much more even tyre temperature, and it would have made the tyre management that much better, and then I could have had a much longer stint. With the race, with the way the race panned out, I don't think I'd have had a shot at the podium with the way I had to push in the early part of the race. There was a couple of mistakes though from me. It wasn't the cleanest race in terms of my driving. If I'm honest, without those mistakes, I might have just about had a shot at the podium there. But hey, you know, it's a race, and again, in this class of racing, if you get a clean race, you're either doing very well, or you've been very lucky. So yeah, and we had a couple of little knocks in the race as well. So it wasn't anything dirty. There was nothing nasty going on there. I've got nothing that needs to be reported to Reiza at all, from my point of view. I will report the imbalance throughout the lap, but in terms of AI behaviours, I've got no issues at all. They've been really good. Yeah. I did notice though that Dunn had a bit of an incident. Dunn is the Fanatec sponsored, the red and blue Fanatec sponsored car. In the lap trace, he dropped down quite sharply on about lap 5 or 6. So I'm going to go and have a quick look at that now, and see if just see what caused that. I would imagine it will be another lockup. We've seen that from that very car as well. We've seen that from that car before. So I would imagine it'll be another lockup. But we can go and have a look at that now and get that confirmed, and see what we do with it. So we'll see you in just a second with that. So here we are with Dunn and his error. It's going into the first corner. You'll see what happens in just a moment. We've seen it before, and we've seen it with Dunn before as well. Just snags that inside front wheel. The outside is still spinning. We've seen it before. It's I've raised the question to Reiza about the modelling of ABS on the AI physics model. Haven't had a response yet, so as soon as I do get the response, the next video that I release, I will include that response in that. But either way, whether it's a yes it is or no it isn't, it doesn't really matter to me, because like I said before, it gives them a mechanism to introduce mistakes from the AI, which are needed. So that's fine by me. And we don't always just see this sort of mistake. We see different sorts of mistakes as well. So it doesn't feel so sort of manufactured. It's still, these are still the sort of mistakes you'd expect to see in this class of racing. So I'm perfectly happy with it to be this way. Yeah. But right, so that's pretty much it. I didn't see many other mistakes at all. The only other things I saw were like the odd car running just a little bit wide, or normal stuff. There was nothing worthy of any sort of report. So, and even this, I'm not going to report this again now, because it's been reported. So yeah, I mean, it's on the video, but I'm not gonna report it again to Reiza directly. Right, well, I'll leave you there. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting. And until the next time, we'll see you later.